shaking AC.
Oh man, not much. I think I scared myself when I said Robert.
Oh, really? Woo,
Loud
you
today.
did that.
Yeah, yeah. I was very loud. That was loud. Shh.
Well, you did a great job. I'm praising you.
Oh, okay. Is that what you want to rant about?
I think so. What do you think? I think that's an important rant to have because I find that a lot of people don't provide enough praise, or if they do, they don't provide it in a really constructive fashion. And it's always interesting speaking to people and hearing them say that, yes, I encourage praise. I think it's a good thing. Outside of the parameters of, that you sometimes hear that like, millennial snowflakes, all they want is praise and all this sort of stuff, but just like genuine, like appreciation.
Yeah, appreciation, acknowledgement for good work, or acknowledgement for just some kind of effort. Yeah, it's funny. When I remember when I had my stores as a franchisee, and we had pretty entry level employees because that was the business model, and it was amazing. Sometimes you forget to give them that like praise or acknowledgement for something, and when you do, it's like it just has such an impact. And so I used to find it difficult to like, how can I remember to do this more? So I think maybe it's like, what are some systems you can put in place, to remember this more?
Well, that was going to be the question that was going to ask you because
Oh, I do have an answer.
okay, good. But the reason is, I think in general, most people agree that giving praise is valuable and they all want to do it. But I think sometimes they slip and they don't do it enough. And there's got to be something that triggers you to do it or want to do it or remember to do it. And I'm wondering what do you do in order to convey
Mhm.
that appreciation?
Well, first of all, I just want to touch on something you just said there, that I think you're right. Ideally, it would be good if there was some kind of trigger versus counting on a system, because then you would catch it in the moment no matter what, right? Whereas a system of like a cadence or something where you try to remember to do it. That's the way that I was going to say I would do it. I actually remember, I just had a flashback when, again, back to when I was a franchisee, we didn't have iPhones. Well, like we did. I'm thinking of the early days of being a franchisee, actually. For some reason, I'm just thinking about, well, maybe whatever. You know how like everything now is just all on our phone, but I had a day timer. Remember those day
Just a
timers?
side note, I love that you said iPhone and not smartphone because let's get real here. iPhone is the smartphone.
I'm not going to promote anything. It just came out.
Okay.
But you remember did you have a day timer or planner? Remember like that little book that had like, the calendar in it?
Like in high school, I did. Like they gave it to
Right.
me in my registration package.
Yeah, like one of those. Yeah. So I used to have one of those. And I remember I would like every Friday I'd write a note to like, I don't know if I used the word praise, but whatever it was, like recognition or something. And then I would go to my way to recognize or praise like one of the staff and kind of make sure I rotated through them. Just to acknowledge something they did, like I just get it on my radar to say something. So that's kind of rudimentary, but you could make a reminder on your phone, maybe once a week to like recognize a staff member or something. But one thing that we do at AC Inc. that I think is pretty fun is, as you know, and I'm just now sharing with the audience, our giant audience, is we use Voxer as a communication app. And so for anyone that doesn't know, it's a voice messaging app where you can say like, hey, Robert, what's shaking? Or I could say, Robert, chief hype officer, I need a pep talk, which we have done that. But we do have one of our group chats called Core Values shout outs. And so when we see one of our team members, and this is good because it's not all the praise coming from one person, it can come from anyone on the team. And you jump on there and you do like, hey, I just want to shout out, Robert, the core value of everything is figure outable, because we had a problem with our website and he went in the back end and figured it out without getting roadblocked by not knowing what to do or something. Right. So a group chat where we're kind of, fostering an environment where praise is part of the culture, I guess. So that's one thing that we already do, but I don't know. Do you have any other ideas that would be
Yeah, I
good?
was thinking about this actually. Like when you're giving praise to somebody and you say something like "good job" or "well done on doing that," right? Eventually, it starts to lose its value, right? If you do it too much. And so, what What makes it so that it continues to be valuable? And I think the foundation of that is that it has to be genuine. Like you actually are praising somebody because you're happy with what they've done. So I thought about this and I'm like, walking down the street and every so often I'll be like, what a beautiful blue sky, or like, what an awesome sunset or sunrise, or feel this weather. It's so good. And I'm praising inanimate objects or like, other nouns, not people. And I'm praising them because I'm grateful for that. And so I thought to myself, maybe that's the root of genuine praise, is to be grateful for something. So if somebody does a really great job at work, you're praising them not because you feel that they need it or deserve it, but because you actually are grateful for what they've done. So I wonder if creating a culture, even within your own mind, of genuine and authentic praise starts with setting your mindset towards gratitude.
Oh my gosh, I was just gonna, as you were talking, I was like, so what you're really getting at is it's mindset is the basis, which we talk a lot about. And so if your mindset is that I'm appreciative of these people around me on my team that do great work, I'm going to naturally think to maybe say it more.
Right. Exactly.
And I think you also triggered another thought for me that I think people need to go a little deeper with like, this was a praise instead of just being like, yeah, that was awesome, that work you did. But that work you did was awesome because it really helped me be able to XYZ, be more productive or get done the thing I needed to get done. So like, getting a little deeper on the consequence that action had. And the beauty of it then, I guess the whole beauty of praise is that then it motivates them, the people that you're praising or acknowledging, to do more of that thing. And that's what we all want, right? We want to inspire people to do more of that.
Yeah. I think it's easier to praise somebody when you're grateful for what they do, if you've been through what they're doing. I think maybe it's FreshBooks, but there's an accounting software out there that if somebody calls customer service, at the first ring, it goes to customer service. By the second ring, it goes to senior management. And then at the third ring, it'll go to the CEO. And so invariably, there are some customer service calls that hit the CEO's desk. And that CEO has to deal with potentially disgruntled customers. And if they are able to experience that like grind, that they're getting, then maybe they appreciate what the front line is doing more, rather than being so disconnected through so many levels of middle management and just thinking, well, they're getting paid to do this. It's their job,
Yeah, that's a great reminder that, as a founder, CEO, even as a franchisee, sometimes, I'd run out and mop the floor at the end of the day, even though there was somebody there to do that, because not only does it show them that you're willing to do it, but yeah, to feel it yourself and go, yeah, like, I hope someone thanks me for this. And then like, you remember, yeah, thanks for doing such a good job of that mopping you're doing, right? Like whether it's mopping, or creating a report, or how you handle a customer or a client or whatever. I think that's a really great reminder. And it just reminded me of Oprah one time worked at the Starbucks or McDonald's drive-thru or something. It was there's probably a YouTube clip on it, but it was the funniest thing to see. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is the hardest job, right? And it's like, she's a smart person, but like, it is a hard job. You got to get trained and deal with, all this like fast pace. So for a leader to go into that role and go, okay, now I'll remember this.
Yeah. And it also shows great leadership etiquette, right? If you're a leader and you don't realize that you work for your team, you're not a great leader. If you you may have authority, that doesn't mean that you're a leader.
Leaders eat last. Simon Sinek. I've been back onto him lately. I love the infinite mindset. Ooh, we should rant about that next time.
Okay.
See, you'll have to watch the YouTube video so we can discuss it.
All right. Well, then let's wrap it up for today.
Okay.
All right. Let's count it down. You do the count. 3.
Okay.
2, 1. Go be awesome.